Excuse me, Spider-Man, would you mind if I quickly had sex with your ship?
I'm on the whitelist server and I am doing quite unusually a solo episode, and that's because I want to show you the experience of sort of living and working with Boris. I spawned down here. It's all a bit laggy down here, and I think that's because my ship, I really need to put some walls on this ship. So let's just pop in through the unofficial floor door. And we'll have a look and see what's going on. So there's nothing. I do know stuff has happened that way. Let's just have a look around this corner and see. I don't think, because Boris isn't building around this side yet. So let's just see if anything has been going on. Things have been moving. Yellow school bus has moved. Drill ships have moved. I'm pretty sure I generally leave them level. Well, it might have just been that Boris has jumped in to get some oxygen and sort of knocked it a little. Let's just have a look. Or has he been drilling? Oh no, he's been drilling. Okay, alright, so that's one of the tasks for today is we'll repair the drill ship. And right, this is definitely more magnificent than when I saw it last. I think he'd put something here. Okay, that's a bit of a wow. So he's been, well, all of this is new. The walkways and this thing here. We haven't got any gravity, have we? No. There's another thing there. So the cargo containers, I think, are where they were before. I think he's just coloured them. Oh, that's interesting actually, because I had. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, look, there's a button. Oh, so these are like windows they allow you to see through. Is that right? They are. Cool. Dare I press the button? Oh, okay. That'll be all of them then, won't it? And I don't think I can hack it. I think if I hack it, I think it loses its functionality. I'm gonna guess that he's probably put all these in and then just not got round to sharing them. Yeah. But yeah, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I coloured something. It was either a sorter or conveyor systems. Something I just needed to. Wow, I mean, all of this is new. This wasn't here before. All these fancy walls. Yeah, I coloured something so that I could see what thing connected to what thing. Well, it looks like he's left me a bit of welding to do, but he's actually done a fair bit. So the refineries should be shared, I imagine, because yeah, because we put those in a couple of days ago. Yeah, so I come on the server, and every time I come on, there's like something sort of different. And no, oh, that's right. I did have. I wonder if he's put that connect there, that sorter, the wrong way around. Me and him had worked on the conveyor system, and I had later gone and put all the pipes and things in place, but I'd left them all over the place. And then Boris had come on and he had repositioned them, and I just needed to do a little bit of testing and a small amount of adjustment to get them working right. And then I was able to do the next thing, which involved putting an additional pipe, which of course I put straight through this lot, and just left hanging around in midair, and it was to connect one of the blue conveyors with this container. But the sorter should have been going into the container. It should have been going into this cargo, not pointing that way. If it's the same thing, I'm gonna bet that I can't access this. Yeah. So I think this one is probably the wrong way around. But I'm not sure. I can't see what he's doing. He might have something going on there. I don't know. So the cargo container here is that's where a ship can drop anything, everything into this cargo, and these these sorters should make sure they're to stop it from draining, they're to prevent it, they're to hold everything until you tell it to go, and that's to stop the refiners from being able to just pull everything from a ship. So this sort of becomes like an on-off switch then, so you can blacklist everything and then you can decide what it is that you actually want to go into the refinery, and then that way the ship, it might empty its load into this cargo, and we might do something about that a bit further up in the system anyway, but for the moment the ship will empty into the cargo, and it can be held there because this sorter, and let's just see if this is still the original sorter, can be set so that it's got a blacklist on it. No, so he's replaced that one as well. I'm just not sure what he's doing, so I don't want to grind things down in case he's actually got something going on. Because it's easy to tease Boris about, you know, because he teases himself about the fact that rather than he procrastinates, he doesn't want to be working with conveyors, so he goes and builds staircases instead. Actually, Boris, I mean, he's got so many hours, he knows what he's doing. So yeah. Oh, okay. There's Anubis. Yeah, he said he was coming on the server later on tonight. So let's presume that the way yeah, I can't tell what Boris is doing, and he might have, this might be intentional, so I won't undo anything. What I had was this holding cargo. You could then use this sorter as an on-off switch so that the refineries could only take what you wanted them to take. The refineries would then feed out, so this one looks correct. I'm pretty sure this isn't an original. Let's see, yeah. And he's made that green, so this should be ingots coming out. Now, there is a problem with the way we have these two wired, and that is that it causes the refineries to favour this particular one over the others, and then it'll favour this side over the other side. So it won't share the load unless this one is actually full. So we need to do something about that. And I think it might be that we need to put either a conveyor system through here, or yeah, if we take away that sorter so that this doesn't feed directly into that one but feeds into several rather than just into one, because at the moment it goes into this refinery and then it feeds through the rest from here, but we could do with it going through a conveyor system and feeding into each one individually, so we can sort that out. That'll just take a little bit of jiggery pokery, but it's not essential. That's only if we were trying to get through a huge amount of ore, and as it is, it all works. Oh, well, it did, I assume. I'm not quite sure. It might still work, I don't know. So what have we got here? So this is the ingots. So the green system's ingots, and oh, here we go. Let's just let them know that I'm recording. So that means that you could drop ingots in here and they would come down this pipe. Now I thought that actually we would have it the other, I wouldn't have, does he actually want to be able to drop off ingot? Oh, it might even be that this is temporary. Or maybe it is so that you can drop ingots into the system. That would work if that's what you wanted. If you wanted to be able to drop in, like bypass the refineries and just drop ingots straight in. And I'm going to guess that goes to the ingot containers over there. The ingot containers should then have a link to... Oh dear. So the ingot containers should be feeding through to the assemblers. Now, I wonder what colour the assembly arrangements are. The assemblers are all... Are they blue? It's probably all done underground. No. I can see things... yeah. So Boris has been doing things down here. Because... he hadn't finished... Oh, look, I'm low on energy. He hadn't finished his... the layout of the assemblers. And I needed to test the conveyor system. So we had one assembler as the input and one assembler as the output, so I just stuck a couple of pipes between them to connect them. So the input and the output assemblers, it wasn't meant to be that way. It wasn't. It just sort of closed the circuit. It was like a little temporary patch cable. Now I can see that Boris has removed the temporary patch. Now I didn't tell him that I put a temporary patch under there, so he might have wondered what on earth I was up to. It's possible that this blue one is a disassembler rather than an assembler. Let's see. Ah, okay. So has he moved them all? Yeah, so it's been up to... I didn't think they'd actually moved positions, but maybe they have. So let's go and have a look at the new structure over here. This is the fancy cross that Boris was talking about, so I don't know if he actually wants this welding up. Buttons for doors, I'm guessing. I'm going to presume I can't access these either. Yeah. This will be some welding that needs doing. Cool. Wow. Yeah, so it's wow. Let's get the hood off, we don't need it. It's kind of a little bit breathtaking to... I was going to say come home, I mean log on and just see all this stuff that's happened. He's been building up there as well. Let's go see what's... I love this hallway. The lights are off. They had sort of orangey coloured lights on it before. So the last time I came on the server, I discovered... Oh, I came on just as Boris was leaving, and he sort of left a message saying the scaffolding is ready to weld. Ah, so this is on a piston. I welded it and it turned out to be guns. Which I didn't know when there was just a whole bunch of scaffolding and I got welding it, and then the next thing there's lasers shooting out of stuff, which caught me a little bit by surprise. I think I had a bit of a jump scare until took me a moment just to realise that they were green lasers and not red lasers, so they obviously thought I was a friend. And so I think that's yeah, it's retractable, isn't it? Now there was more than just... I love this pattern. There was more than just the two guns before, I'm sure there was. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm sure there was at least 3. Maybe Boris changed his mind in testing. Yeah, so looking at the position of the ugly Barry here, I imagine that Boris must have emptied the ugly Barry into it. Let's see. How are we doing? Yeah, so there's nothing in here apart from a bit of uranium and some ice and oxygen. I've got more oxygen, I must remember to... more ice, I must remember to top that up. Right, well, I think now we've had a little tour of what Boris has been up to, so there's not much I can do I can't test the system, I can't adjust any of those sorters. I can't really sort of build on the conveyor system because with it being not having access to it, that's a shame. I've done that myself though when I've made stuff. I've left ships for Boris to use, and then half the drills he won't have access to. So, but one job I certainly can do is to fix up this ship. So he must have been drilling. Maybe I haven't spotted where. It might be in that corner there actually, where he's built that office. Okay, and I should have everything that I need actually within the ship to... wow, he has given that quite a clout. But it's the way the ship is set up means that it doesn't lose anything of any value. It'll lose its drills, and worst case it loses its conveyors, but yeah, all this heavy armour keeps the sensitive bits. I never have to repipe. All of the conveyors always stay in place and stuff like that, so it's very easy. It's a very easy ship to repair. And I guess this is proof that we definitely need 2 ships. So we can wreck one and go and get the other one. Right, I shall get fixing. It's got dents everywhere, so it's definitely been serving its purpose, which is what I like to see. this ship is this one. All my drilling ships and welding ships and things. They're construction machines. They're meant to be used. I mean, okay, they take a bit of damage. They take a bit of damage when I use them as well. Maybe not quite this much damage, but yeah, I would much rather Boris focus on the building work and sort of use these machines to do what he needs them to do. I'll keep them in running order. And meanwhile, Boris can build us a fabulous place. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty bad, but actually, like I say, it's held together pretty damn well. I might put a little bit of extra down the bottom here, having seen that this is where the damage is happening. Might strengthen this a bit more. I couldn't build something as amazing as, where are we? This way. I couldn't build something as amazing as this that Boris has built. I mean, it is absolutely spectacular. So, and yet I get by just keeping Boris in ships and materials and things. I get to live in this spectacular place, and I mean, yeah, for the, you can imagine from a role play perspective, it's the sort of thing where I'd invite all my friends back for a party and tell them this is what I built, and tell them not to worry about my strange housemate. He's perfectly harmless.